You can also get feedback if you want. You don't have to. Sure.
My mom just gave it to me.
You can be in the audience.
Yo, I've had that before. That is so bust. That's my favorite flavor.
Yeah, save that one for another panelist.
Yeah,
You
we're
can be right
audience.
behind. Here's your remote control. What is this? Oh, that. Yes, and guess what? It's actually going to here. I'm gonna move this so that you can see it and look out at your audience. You don't have to look back. Yeah. Give me one moment to find mine. Oh, one of those thingy-mabobbers? Yes, I got one of those thingy-mabobbers.
You want me to do it?
Well, Kali's gonna be here. Kali's gonna be on the stage. You can do it if you want. You don't have to. Go ahead and take it, and then if you are inspired, you can write down. All right, welcome in, everybody. Thank you so much for being on time. And I also just want to thank you for all of the great questions that you had yesterday, the great feedback, and the attention that you paid to one another. That really helped support each presenter. And then we're going to do the same for Olin. So Olin, you got this. Take it away.
Okay. Welcome to my 9th grade POL. Yeah. So, I'm going to talk about middle school first. So for middle school, I went to a school called EBSB. EBSB is an all-boys school in Berkeley. It was a really good school, and at some points I took it for granted. Now, I've been in high school for 4 months, and I'm realizing how much I miss it. EBSB did a really great job at teaching me what schools are supposed to teach, but more importantly, they taught me significant skills and facts about life. Like why there are so many homeless people, and just things like that. So the first class I want to talk to you about today is math. This year in math, I've grown a lot. I have learned many things about myself and how I best handle lots of work. In math this year, we have had 2 big projects. The XY equals K group project and the POL pattern project. As you can see, I chose homework as a strength. This is because I now understand why it helps me, or helps my ability to do more work, or to do math. More work equals better results. My greatest change this year has been my comprehension and ability to understand things faster. I say this because it used to take me a really long time to learn or understand a concept, and now I can understand much faster. For an activity that will help me grow, I chose homework. Again, I chose homework because in my opinion, it is better discipline to continue some amount of work or schoolwork at home. I think this because, in my experience, there are less distractions and it's overall just like quieter. I also chose homework as a strength, and I think this is because I have a decent attitude towards it. My photo right here is of a recent homework assignment that I had to get a lot of help with, but that showcases another strength of mine, which is asking for help. Continued growth, just some more examples of that same homework assignment. Humanities. This year in humanities, we have done a couple of projects, but most of them have been about CER, which is claim, evidence, and reasoning. One example of this was our CER essay. For this project, we read about the Great Migration and wrote an essay about it. My claim for this essay is on the right side of the screen, that one right there. You don't have to read it, but it's just there if you do. So now I'll talk about my skills and evidence. During this essay process, I was having to flip tabs a lot to keep track of them, or what I was writing about. This was ineffective because it took lots of time. I had to practice using my memory instead of flipping tabs a lot, and I found this was a much better way to just overall do things. I use this skill especially when writing about my evidence because it was one of the longest parts. The CER essay was a hard assignment for me, but I kept going and pushed to understand it. This shows how I have grown, because last year I probably wouldn't have done that. This is more my growth in humanities, what I already talked about. So next is art. So in art this year, we had one big project in particular, along with like some other tests. That project was a canvas project, and we had to write our graffiti name. So I'll just talk about that now. So for this project, we had to make a graffiti canvas, and mine is this right here. I showed my identity by putting things from my life into my drawing, things like skateboards and bikes. We had to pick some symbols to be in or around our names, and I chose a bike wheel, a skateboard, a cat, and some weights. These 4 objects are in that. I chose red and yellow for my background colors because I thought went well with with the letter colors, which were green, blue, and like violet kind of. Yeah. So the process to pick my name, I picked my name because I've had it since middle school. It was a nickname that one of my friends gave me, and I got it because I was small, like one of the smallest kids in my class. And yeah, my name is Bean in the middle of the canvas. So the process was basically, I just drew my name, Bean, in the middle of the canvas with the pencil, and then taped out the letters so I could spray paint the background, and then peel out the tape and colored it in with paint markers. And then I added grommets and highlights, and that was pretty much all you had to do for the project. There's some things I already mentioned with the bullet points. Alright, so now I'm going to talk about physics. This year in physics, we have been studying a couple of different topics. One is pressure. To study this, we looked at an exploding tanker. Our teacher, Mr. Castro, showed us this video of an oil tanker that was getting cleaned with hot steam when the top got closed. Immediately when this happened, all of the pressure got trapped inside. Pressure from heat expanding air molecules. When this heat cooled down, a vacuum seal was made, causing an implosion. Like that right there. Yeah. This is some evidence I used as an assignment to prove how it collapsed. And then this is another assignment called the bowling ball and the feather project or whatever, or assignment. This assignment was about proving how and why a feather falls slower than a bowling ball in a regular atmosphere, and why it falls at the same time in a vacuum seal. And we looked at why this happened, and we found the answer was because there were no air molecules in the vacuum chamber when it was sealed. So that feather is obviously a lot less dense than the bowling ball. So why it fell slower was just because there were less air molecules to slow the feather down when it was dropped. Yeah. So that's pretty much it for physics. Here's some more evidence on why those things happen on the bullet points. Another picture of the assignment. And I used coffee filters to prove why this happened, because when you added more coffee filters and stacked them on top of each other, the density of having more basically just made it heavier and added more weight to make it fall faster. And there was the same surface area, so it ultimately fell faster than just like one coffee filter. Here's more evidence and an assignment on how we demonstrated this. And this is my conclusion. So for this year has been great for my learning, and I have good teachers in my classes, and I like my classes, and I like Latitude so far. Yeah. Any questions?